YouTube has just made it twice as hard for a new creator to qualify for full monetization. That is, to get paid some of that sweet, sweet money that YouTube makes putting ads on your videos. From February next year, instead of needing 4,000 hours of watch time, you'll need 8,000. Now, this really isn't the sort of thing I usually talk about on the Weekly Spark, but I am a YouTuber. And over the last 6 months, I've worked quite hard with no pay to build this channel up to the 4,000 watch hours needed for full monetization. In fact, I should have already hit that target before this video gets released. So thank you if you were a part of that. Anyway, when YouTube announced that new creators would soon need 8,000 watch hours, it felt weirdly personal. One of my first questions was, why 8,000? As an aside, how did they come up with that number? It seems rather arbitrary. The more I thought about it, the more I think this might be about something much bigger than simply making creators work harder. I think YouTube is planning ahead and making some seemingly tough decisions now as it lays new foundations for what the platform is ultimately becoming. Hey friends, welcome back to the Weekly Spark, where each week I take a story, a question or something interesting from the world of tech and look at what it might tell us about where things are heading. And this week I'm talking about YouTube. From the 1st of February 2027, new creators wanting access to advertising and YouTube premium revenue will need 1,000 subscribers and 8,000 qualified public watch hours over a rolling 12-month period. And that's double the current requirement. Shorts are your thing. That route is getting harder too. The requirement there is going from 10 million qualified shorts views within 90 days to 20 million. Whew. Now, I'm not really a shorts creator. I mostly use them as a little shop window into my longer videos, and I suspect plenty of other long-form creators do much the same thing. So for this video, I'm going to concentrate mainly on those 8,000 hours. It's not difficult to see why smaller creators who are nowhere near being monetized at the moment are frustrated by the change. But interestingly, one response I've seen quite a lot of is, well, if you're only just reaching 4,000 hours, you're probably not making much money anyway. And I think that completely misses the point. £50 or £100 a month might, by a long way, not replace your salary, but it could buy you a better microphone, pay for a piece of software, or allow you to buy something to review. Over time, that little bit of income is reinvested into the channel, helping you make better videos and potentially build an actual business. And there's also something psychologically important about reaching full monetization or being a full YouTube Partner Program member. It's the point where YouTube effectively says, yes, you've built enough of an audience for us to start sharing the revenue with you. It's a milestone, particularly when you've spent months, if not years, working towards it. So doubling that requirement can feel like a bit of a kick in the teeth. Why is YouTube changing things now, after the status quo has remained in place for so long? Well, part of the answer to that question is obvious when you think about the culture-shifting technology that has emerged over the last few years. YouTube has been dealing with a growing problem around repetitive, mass-produced and what it calls inauthentic content. Inevitably, some of that involves AI. Now, AI itself isn't really the problem. I use AI. Loads of creators use AI. It's a genuinely useful tool. The problem is that it's now possible to create enormous quantities of rubbish incredibly cheaply. Synthetic voices over stock footage, copied or barely rewritten scripts, another 100 videos across many but similar channels, all producing assembly line content. The creators behind this slop can just churn it out at scale, knowing that eventually something will catch on and start making serious money. I suspect YouTube has very little interest in becoming the world's largest warehouse for automated video slop, particularly because YouTube doesn't really see itself as just a website full of internet videos anymore. Increasingly, YouTube is television. More than 1 billion hours of YouTube are watched on television screens around the world every single day. And in the US, TV has already overtaken mobile as the primary device for watching YouTube by watch time. And personally, I completely understand that shift because it's how I watch YouTube. I rarely watch it on my iPhone or indeed my iPad. I sit on the sofa, turn on the television and choose YouTube in pretty much the same way I choose Netflix, Amazon Prime or any other streaming service. You can see that change in the features YouTube has added just over the last year. Instead of playlists, you can now create shows where you can organize content into proper seasons with episodes numbered and designed to follow on from one another. And that should tell you quite a lot about where YouTube, or rather Alphabet, is betting its future. YouTube isn't just a place where we watch cat videos anymore. And to be fair, despite the memes, it hasn't been that for a very long time. There are quality documentaries on YouTube, excellent podcasts, absorbing hour-long interviews, deep dive tech programs, well-presented travel series, and all sorts of other creator-led shows that wouldn't look out of place on conventional TV. And YouTube clearly wants more of that. Which brings me back to these new monetization requirements. Maybe YouTube isn't simply saying, we want you to work twice as hard. Maybe what it's really saying is, before we financially reward your channel, we want stronger evidence that you're building something people genuinely choose to watch. If raising that bar also weeds out some of the people who simply want to generate a pile of cheap AI videos and make a reasonably quick buck, then I can understand the thinking. The problem is, I'm not entirely convinced it'll work. The people producing the slop can produce far more content than genuine creators can. They can throw hundreds of videos at the algorithm and see what sticks, while somebody producing one carefully researched video might spend several weeks, if not months, making it. So, does doubling the watch hour requirement actually discourage low quality content, or does it simply make the climb twice as long for the legitimate small creator YouTube should presumably want to encourage? And that's where I keep coming back to. I can understand YouTube wanting a higher bar, and I can understand it wanting fewer people trying to game the system, and I absolutely understand why it wants to be taken seriously as a television destination. But if 4,000 watch hours was previously enough to demonstrate that you'd built a genuine audience, I really would like to know why 8,000 suddenly does that job better. What do you think? Is YouTube right to raise that proverbial bar if it helps weed out some of the mass-produced rubbish and pushes the platform towards better content? Or does doubling the requirement simply make things unnecessarily difficult for genuine, smaller creators trying to get started? Or, and I haven't touched upon this at all, are they trying to keep more of that precious ad money to themselves? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've enjoyed this one, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the Weekly Spark, please consider doing that as well. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description, or you can scan the QR code that's been on screen throughout this video. Thanks for watching or listening. I'm Mark from the Weekly Spark, and I'll see you in the next one.